In this review video, we're going to start this one off a little differently. Pay attention.
Oh, Granddad, there was something I was supposed to tell you. Yeah, I think that, Cookie called, and I think it was important.
What? Did you write it down?
Nah, but, it was something about this dude named Moe.
Moe? You mean Moe Jackson?
Yeah, that's him. I think it was, something about, wait, I remember now. Yeah, something about him dying or something.
Moe's dead?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. Oh, well, I'm not really sure. You should probably call her back.
Well, how long ago did she call?
I don't know, a few days ago.
In Chicago, Grandad will be giving a eulogy. Thus, Huey, Riley, and Robert Freeman take a flight back to Chicago. Huey finds out his old pal has changed when they reunite after a long time apart. The BoonDocks episode number 13, titled WingMen, premiered on Adult Swim. It debuted on television on March 5, 2006. Before we get started on this historical breakdown, I just wanted to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm working on some new designs over at the Deez Entertainment store. You see that new logo? Yeah, it's more where that came from. Remember, we still have a few of the 2022 grade fall designs on the store shelves. From tank tops to t-shirts to hoodies, we have it all. Special shout out to everyone that purchased some merch during the December 2022 sale. You helped me create some new designs for the spring and summer of 2023. If you would like to support the channel further and help with the funding of Deez Entertainment, the link will be in the description. Now, let's get into it. Riley opens the episode by telling Grandad about a phone call he received. Moe's death from priapism brought on by erectile dysfunction medication leads Grandad to contact Moe's Aunt Cookie and learn the tragic news. Grandad begins laughing and dancing with delight, displaying no signs of sadness at his friend's passing. But after learning that Moe had left him anything in his will, he decided to go through with attending the burial. Huey and Riley had called Chicago home, and before relocating to Woodcrest, Huey told Jasmine he was going there to see his closest buddy, Cairo. This saddens Jasmine, who undoubtedly considered herself Huey's closest friend. A flashback to Grandad's time as the finest Negro pilot of the war in World War II is set in motion when he tells the boys a tale about Moe on the aircraft. Moe is seen to be arrogant, loud, and careless in the flashback. In the past, Moe tries to shoot down an enemy jet by covering his eyes. Sadly, this causes additional shots to be fired at Grandad's aircraft. The discovery of Cairo's new best buddy, Dewey Abato, Mamasi, Mamasay, Mamakusa Jenkins, comes as a complete surprise to Huey and Riley. Huey is disappointed that Cairo has gone on without him, and that black revolutionary Dewey mocks him for not being down with the battle, and for going to Woodcrest. When Grandad learns that Moe has left him a gift, he knows he must give the eulogy at Moe's funeral in order to get it. Grandad is upset at first, but Aunt Cookie manages to convince him otherwise. The funeral for Moe is being conducted aboard a cruise ship. Maybelline, an exceptionally unattractive lady, approaches Grandad during the funeral, but he yells and flees. As Huey accuses Cairo of being unloyal, Aunt Cookie explains to him that Cairo was really very heartbroken when Huey left. Grandad's anger rises when he finds out that Moe has been claiming credit for his wartime achievements, and that Moe called him a motherfucker only days before Moe's death, contradicting his apologetic tone in the video. When Grandad can't think of anything to say, Moe's writing is read aloud.
Everything I have in life I owe to Moe Jackson. I'm not gay, but Moe was a very sexy man. We used to call him Moe Bitches. I once saw Moe in his underwear, and it changed my life. I wish I had a father like Moe Jackson. Moe Jackson paid my rent over 50 times. Okay, this is bullshit. Moe Jackson was an asshole. Moe Jackson was a petty, immature, selfish man. Oh, he was good at one thing. That's bringing the worst out of everybody he met. I came up here because I thought Moe wanted to make things right. But it was just one more chance for him to make a fool out of me.
He vents his true feelings about Moe to the entire audience and storms off afterwards. The split between Grandad and Moe's later explained by Grandad. Grandad still hasn't forgiven Moe for stealing his sweetheart over 40 years ago. Grandad gets a lecture from Aunt Cookie, who points out that he never truly dated that woman. When he finally got her number, he didn't bother to call. But Grandad counters by claiming that he was going to contact her and that she may have been the one, and that Moe stole the opportunity from him. She also says that Madeline, the boat's most unattractive passenger, was the one who first drove a wedge between them. Even though they weren't the greatest of friends, she assures him that it wasn't Moe's fault that their relationship was severed. Rather, it was Grandad. Grandad can't believe he's been so naive, losing his relationship with Moe over such a little issue. In the meanwhile, Huey discusses Dewey with Cairo. Cairo sides with Dewey, and his hate towards Huey and Grandad is made clear by his constant ridiculing and taunting of them. The lads get into an argument because of this. Riley seizes the chance and rushes out to confront Dewey. As soon as Grandad returns to make apologies, everyone immediately stops fighting. He gives an excellent speech and compels Huey to say something deep at the end.
Your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. It is the bitter potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Therefore, trust the physician and drink his remedy in silence and tranquility. Khalil Gibran.
Moe's last request was that Grandad hold Deez nuts, and after the burial, when Grandad went to claim his mystery item, he found out it was a jar of peanuts. Grandad and the other individuals in the room didn't understand what was going on since Moe had set things up before he died to have the final laugh on him. Huey stops by Cairo's home before heading back to Woodcrest to say sorry. At first glance, Cairo seemed to have accepted his apologies, but Cairo responds by headbutting Huey off his front porch, thus destroying their friendship. Huey realizes the value of friendship upon his return to Woodcrest and treats Jasmine with a degree of neutrality. Jasmine pokes fun at Huey's bloody nose after their fight with Cairo. It's all in good fun, although she does quip, "I see your best friend loves to headbutt you in the face." The episode concludes with the revelation that Grandad did, in fact, keep the peanut jar. He has it on display in his den, along with other artifacts from his many adventures. Trivia time. The episode title is a double entendre. In World War II, Moe was Robert's wingman, flight combat partner. Moe was also Robert's wingman and a social-sensitive friend who deflects an ugly or undesirable woman's attention. The name of Grandad's plane in World War II was Dorothy, the same name as his car. A piece of the plane can be seen in Grandad's den, along with other memorabilia. This is part of the running gag from both the comic strip and show where Grandad is in love with Dorothy Dandridge. The instrumental during Robert's flashback of Madeline and Moe in the alley is from Madeline's Fancy Clown. Riley wears another suit to Moe's service similar to Tony Montana's suits in Scarface. When asked to say something deep at Moe's funeral, Huey quotes The Prophet by Kalo Gibran. The pictures on the wall of the party boat shows Moe with celebrities like Ray Charles, Michael Jackson, and Muhammad Ali. The poem Dewey recites during Moe's funeral makes reference to Pookie in New Jack City, Tookie Williams, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Chewbacca from Star Wars. Moe and Robert are both flying P-51D Mustang fighters in World War II. The planes that attack them are Focke-Wulf FW-190s. The background music for the dogfight scene is actually a remix of the opening theme. Moe and Grandad both have women painted on their Mustangs. World War II era Tuskegee Airmen pilots were not allowed to paint on their planes as they were not given the same rights of a white man. Riley mockingly calls Dewey Erykah Badu, a dig at Dewey's African-influenced attire.
Boo! Hey, Erykah Badu! That was real gay, my nigga! Cut that out!
Dewey butchers the Islamic greeting of Assalamu alaikum as salami, eggs, and Bacon illustrating he is a poser who is clueless about the true meaning of what he preaches. Dewey questions Huey with "Where are your sandals? Where are your capri?" This refers to the 2003 track The Yo-Yo by Little Brother where font rhymes. It's time to bring the MCs on I'm sick of niggas looking bitch trying to read poems then try to battle me with sandals and capri on. Come on dog. Dewey's middle name is Abato Mamasi, Mamasay, Mama Makusa the later half being the scat bridge from Michael Jackson's track Wanna Be Starting Something, itself an interpolation from Manu Dibango's hit Soul Makausen. It was also later featured in Rihanna's hit Don't Stop the Music. Dewey is a parody of the Black Arts Movement. What is the Black Arts Movement, you ask? Don't worry, this Riz Entertainment got you covered. The Black Arts Movement was an African American-led art movement that was active during the 1960s and 1970s. Through activism and art, B.A.M created new cultural institutions and conveyed a message of Black pride. The movement expanded from the incredible accomplishments of artists of the Harlem Renaissance. Famously referred to by Larry Neal as the aesthetic and spiritual sister of Black Power, B.A.M applied these same political ideas to art and literature. Artists found new inspiration in their African heritage as a way to present the Black experience in America. Artists like Aaron Douglas, Hale Woodruff, and Metavox Warwick Fuller pioneered the movement with a distinctly modernist aesthetic. This style influenced the proliferation of African American art during the 20th century. The poet and playwright Amiri Baraka is widely recognized as the founder of B.A.M. In 1965, he established the Black Arts Repertory Theater School in Harlem. Baraka's example inspired many others to create organizations across the United States. While many of these organizations were short-lived, their work has had a lasting influence. Some still exist, including the National Black Theater, founded by Bear Bar and Tier in Harlem, New York. To sum it up for you, I'll leave a link below on more information on the Black Arts Movement. Damn, I kinda got off topic, but now you know what it is. After Cairo headbutts Huey, Riley was about to say you got knocked the fuck out, which was made famous by the movie Friday, which also starred John Witherspoon and Regina King, and which is referenced frequently in the series. The Moe subplot ends with the sentimental gift left by Moe to Robert Freeman, which are the jar of Deez nuts. Before we conclude, I wanted to shout out our sponsor of this video, This Riz Entertainment. This Riz Entertainment LLC is an upcoming cinematic editing company that specializes in capturing high quality, realistic, and abstract images through a camera lens. Public service announcements, music videos, documentaries, web episodes, short films, commercials, and feature films, just to name a few. You can find them here on YouTube with multiple channels. This Riz TV Media Gaming Channel, This Riz Entertainment Cinematic Channel, and in the works, the This Riz Cinematic Reviews Channel. After this video, please take a look at these channels. You might see something you like. Hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're feeling fancy. Now back to the review. I rate this episode a 9 out of 10, and it was hilariously funny. Before y'all get all crazy in the comments section, you have to hear me out.
You got a problem with that, nigga?
It's sad that, like Robert said in this episode, you'll eventually find out that your friends aren't always as loyal as you want them to be. There's nothing but facts stated here. You need to open your eyes and learn a true friend from a fake one. I really believe that Moe did Robert dirty throughout their entire lives. Throughout the episode, Robert was constantly annoyed by Moe's antics, but what he considered the last straw was how he thinks that Moe had taken a woman from him. Even though Moe is dead now, I do commend Robert for wanting to see if he can settle things the right way, although he really couldn't find anything redeemable about Moe bitches. One of Huey's old acquaintances, Dewey Jenkins from Chicago, is a fake Muslim that writes bad poetry because he's down with the struggle. He also attempts to be a deep and profound black intellectual, but is very clearly an unenlightened fool. Huey, an actual leftist radical, finds him disgraceful. I would have beat his ass too for disgracing the Nation of Islam. Also, did you notice, for some reason, Cairo is convinced that Huey's move to Woodcrest is some kind of betrayal. And then the nigga moment kicks in when they started arguing during Moe's funeral, which turns into a brawl between Huey and Riley against Cairo and Dewey. I did feel that Huey was the bigger man in the situation because he tries to apologize to Cairo, but he rejects it with a headbutt. I would have had to get some get back after that headbutt. We both would have been fighting on his front porch. I look at it this way. I wouldn't have to see him again, but I would have left him with a well-whipped ass before I left Chicago. After the funeral debacle ends Huey's and Cairo's friendship, Huey returns home and realizes that he must embrace change and may value Jasmine's friendship more than ever. That was the start date of true friendship. The funniest parts of this episode were the situations where the tapes knew you would say that. Most tapes are set up with such unbelievable timing, it's almost as if he was talking to Robert in person. For example, he knew Robert would refuse to give his eulogy at first and begs him to come back. If he returned even a second later, Robert would have known Moe expected him to go through with it from the start. Lastly, I wanted to point out the undignified death of Moe. If you listen closely in this episode, Cookie tells Robert that Moe died from hormone imbalance after using Viagra and ignoring guidelines on when to seek medical assistance. It gives us a pretty good idea of what Moe was like. So overall, Moe was an asshole, and like the old saying goes, what goes around comes back around. Rest in peace, Moe. Leave a comment below if you have any other suggestions or feel differently. Let me know your thoughts on Robert's and Moe's relationship. That'd be much appreciated. Also, I would like to thank all of the new subscribers. Over the last month and a half, we currently have over 3,011 subscribers. Thank you all. Feel free to comment in the box and tell us what part of the world you are from. Thank y'all for liking the content. This motivates us to make more videos like this one here. Please be sure to smash that like button, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure your post notifications are turned on. If you made it to this part of the video, let me know what your favorite part of the video was. Also, what are you all looking forward to in future episodes? I'll be sure to answer that in the next video. I'd like to hear your thoughts on if I missed the mark on this video and other points I should have brought out in this review here. Share this video. I was told that it helps out the algorithm. We are trying to get our views up. We are asking for 200 likes to help take this channel to the next level. New review videos every Saturday and Sunday for more episodes. Enable alerts for this channel so you don't miss anything. If you enjoyed this video, click here for all of my affiliate channels and click here for what BoonDocks video might interest you next. Thanks for watching, take care, and we will see you in the next one.